Hello folks, this is Roz with the Mtgnoob, and we're here doing some 6-pack Gatecrash Sealed event. I'm sorry I missed you guys last week, or the week before that. I was feeling absolutely terrible, and I didn't really want you guys to have to listen to me coughing and sneezing and clearing my throat, and in general just dying into the microphone for the entire thing. And I found that when I am sick, I play very, very poorly. Not that I'm fantastic normally, but when I'm sick, I'm extra worse. So, let's go ahead and bring out the giant card. And just from glancing over some stuff that I was looking at before, I saw we have some pretty neat red and green cards, so let's go into them right now with the rares. Themtgnoob, never got to play that guy. Gyre Sage is pretty good. Foundry Champion, Aberration. Actually, most of these are pretty good. And Stolen Identity. So, out of these, like, the ones that go together really are only, like, the Foundry Champion, and Blind Obedience doesn't really go with this, but I guess you could splash it in Orzhov. I mean, it's a good card no matter where it sits. Gyre Sage and Themtgnoob is pretty cool. And then you have stuff like Consuming Aberration and Stolen Identity. So, I guess we could pretty much go into almost anything. Let's just take a look at what type of other cards we have here. Let's see. In white, wow, trio of Angelic Edicts I'm seeing. Herbis Protector's okay. There's Pulpit. This is like all kinds of slow stuff right here. Zericha Tiger, Salt Griffin, Righteous Charge, Basilica Guards, 2 Wards. Not so cool. Dutiful Throw and 2 Boros Elites. So, I'm noticing people are, like, everyone's getting this right now, and I don't know what this error is. I need to figure this out so it doesn't, like, show up during the entire sealed event, which it probably will. Anyway, moving onward. Gridlock, Sapphire Drake, totally lost. Alright. Way of the Thief is, like, maybe playable if we have the right gates, and I just see we only have 3 gates. They're all different, but we only have 3, and I don't really think any of them are going to be going together, except for Orzhov and Boros, maybe. Scatter Arc, maybe sideboard. Well, Aetherize is cool. Clinging Enemies, like, I don't want to have to play that, but, I mean, it is a card that you can play, and it does stop a lot of stuff in the format right now, and Metropolis Sprite is fine. Grizzly Spectacle, Spy, Blockade, Devour Flesh, Screecher, Illness in the Ranks, bleh. 2 Death's Approach. Wow, there is just a ton of removal in black and white. And, like, no creature support at all. And, I mean, the only creature support down here for either of that is the Foundry Champion. Let's see what else we got over here in red. Structural Collapse. No one can get into a draft or a sealed without seeing a Structural Collapse and a trio of Furious Resistances. This pool is kind of taking a turn for the worst. I'm not really so impressed that far with the stuff that we have to go with our rares. Charger's fine. This is fine. 2 Predator's Rapport, no. I don't actually think I've even seen anyone play this card. I guess the format requires you to either be quick enough to deal with super aggro decks or have a way to come back, and I guess, like, life gain is one of those ways. But anytime, like, a card is just life gain, I don't think it ever does enough to be worth a card. Spire Tracer might actually have to play that if we were going into green or something like that, and Burst of Strength. Okay. So, Gruul is certainly out. There's nothing there. Shattering Blow. Sunhome Guildmage is good. But that's it in Boros. That is the only multicolored Boros card. Beckoning Apparition, I guess, is playable. There we go. 2 Kingpin's Pets and a Vizkopa Guildmage. Hey. It's more like it. 2 Burning Tree Emissaries and a Pit Fight and a Ruination Worm is not terrible. Merfolk of the Depths, however, is terrible. So he gets to go over there. Or both of them get to go over there. I never really took a minute to look at the art because the card was just so bad. Bioshift, Simic Charm, Death Cult Rogue, Nightwing, and a pair of Paranoid Delusions. Yay! All right. Sorry guys, I'm still not 100%, so I might like I might die a little bit in the microphone, but it's not going to be like it was previously. I just got really sick. I don't know what it was. It was like the flu or something like that. It was just aching and lightheadedness, and if I thought I was going to be able to play a game of Magic while I was like that, I was just an idiot. Okay. So I guess the things that we'll look at first is Orzhov, because as of right now, I think it's pretty much the only thing that makes sense, and maybe Splash Blue, because there is some really good blue splashable stuff, like this Call of the Nightwing, and Consuming Aberration, for sure. So, Boros Elites do not fit inside of an Orzhov deck. But we'll see what else we have. We do have Basilica Guards, this dude. I'll play a Tiger. 3 Angelic Edicts? I don't even know if I would play 3 Angelic Edicts. I would play 2 though for sure. And I would also play that. And actually I'd play probably almost all this. 2 Death's Approaches. We do have a Spy. And this, and this, and this. This is what it looks like so far. It's not really that bad. We don't have a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously we need more playables, which we'll be doing here in a second. But like, we don't have a lot of creatures yet, and we definitely need that. Prism will probably be quite useful, as will the Orzhov Guildgate when we have to put that in. Now we could also splash red because there are some powerful red cards. Like there is that Foundry Street Champion. Oh, and this Blind Obedience is going to go in here, obviously. Anyway, like I said, we could splash the Foundry Champion. But I'm not sure, and the Sunholm Guild Mage, that'll be pretty good too. Those are 2 very strong creatures to put in this deck. And I think they definitely have a place here, because we don't really have anything at our high curve. So good old Foundry would make his way there and probably feel pretty good. But let's just continue doing the blue-black thing and see where that gets us. So we probably have that there, and our Consuming Aberration, which is sweet. What else would we have? I don't really know if we need something like a Debtor's Pulpit. Kind of wishing we had had another wall or something like that. We don't have a whole lot of extort. We have, what, 3 or 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? It's not terrible, but it's not exactly amazing either. We do have a lot of removal, though, which is pretty nice. So right now we're splashing 1, 2. I don't want to splash too many of these blue cards. Death Cult Rogue definitely has a place in this deck, though, for sure. Because if we had to, we could actually just get there with the black. And, I mean, we could probably just play, like, a little bit more removal. There's maybe even a place in here for another Death's Approach. And that might just be the deck. This just might be the deck right here. And I'm fine with it. I feel pretty good about this deck, actually. It has some pretty neat stuff here, like the Consuming Aberration. And like Urban Protector isn't like super amazing, but sometimes a 4/4 in the air is what you need to win. And that's pretty good. I would actually like to have seen like an Orzhov Keyrune. That would have been nice. Let me, I'm just going to clear my throat for a second here. Let me turn all this off. So yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I don't really think we need to look at much else besides maybe Dimir instead of Orzhov. But Orzhov's pretty strong. I mean, having stuff like the Guild Mage and the 2 Kingpin's Pets. And there's several white cards here that I quite like. I really like the Angelic Edicts just because it's kind of like a get-out-of-trouble card. It takes care of almost everything. It takes care of weird stuff like Assemble the Legion and just crazy creatures and stuff like that. If I wanted to get real greedy, I could probably even just throw in a Boros Guildgate and throw in something like this Foundry Champion and while I don't think that that's a bad idea, it just seems like whenever I get super greedy in this particular sealed format, it doesn't go very well for me. Maybe other people have better luck than me, but for me, it just doesn't work out well. And we do have some sideboard options as well. We have things like Totally Lost and Etherize and stuff like that if we really needed to bring it in. I guess I mean, I don't think I've ever really seen people play this card, but I guess it's like, if you're getting just destroyed by Call the Nightwing, you could use it, but we'd probably have to side out our own Call the Nightwing, because it's all creature tokens, right? Yeah. So, we can look at red. Actually, I don't think that we can look at red, because, well, I guess we can. Let's let's move out our Call the Nightwing and that there, and I guess this guy would come in. And like the Sunhome Guildmage is so good, but you need like more red to be able to take care of this guy. I mean, like if you have one red source, I guess he's okay, but having like 2 or 3 red sources in our deck, like out at a time, would be even better, because if you start flooding out, it's just good to be able to pump creatures twice, or make two tokens or something like that. So that's what it would look like if it was red and white and black, and I don't think that this is bad either. But I think that with the support that we have, like Death's Approach, Grisly Spectacle, Balustrade Spy, I think that this Consuming Aberration is going to get really good. I kind of wish we had a white, but you can't have everything. So I think we will go ahead and throw these guys in. The curve doesn't look too bad. The Call the Nightwing is a creature, so that does count as a creature. 13 creatures is usually a little bit too thin for me, but this isn't so bad. Let's see here. Just take our spells and put them down here. So this is what it looks like with the spells down. And I think I feel pretty comfortable with that. I think we have enough in here to stave off the early beating, and if we can get something like a Basilica Guards or a Corpse Blockade down, that should be pretty good. And like I said, our blue splash cards are actually pretty decent. Consuming Aberration I just really love. I love this card, and I never get to play it that much. And I mean, it's foil, so it's even better, right? I think we can go ahead and put in our Guild Gate here, add some land, and see what they suggest. 6, 2, 8. I think that's probably right about right. I might even make this just 7, 7. Because we do have a dual black, we have a dual white as well. And I know that they want more black just because this Death Cult Rogue is either black or blue. But this is pretty good. I mean, this gives us 9 sources of white, 9 sources of black, and 3 sources of blue for what is essentially 2 blue splash cards. And 3 sources for 2 splashes is fine. And considering they're coming out on either turn 4 or turn 5, respectively, that's pretty good. So everything else I think looks pretty good. All right, we'll go ahead and be done with our land, and I will go ahead and submit, and I will see you guys for round 1.